Hello and welcome back to my channel Capsuleer. Landis here for another fleet command course. We are post the big balance patch that was announced, and today we are going to take a look at another T10 storyline mission, which is Sweet Poison. So let's take a look at the mission drill down. So this is a bit lower reward than what we had in Bad Air Day, so we're down from 300 million to 250, which is still a significant amount of money in game. And of course you get the chest at the end of the encounters where you can get some nice loot. This is a Gallente one, so you will get railguns and armor modules alongside other stuff, which you can see here sorry, on the menu from the chest. So you can see here what you are potentially going to get. Of course, this is pure RNG. You can get one module, you can get a bit more depending on the luck during the opening. As regards the mission itself, so it's a fairly lengthy one. I'm a bit surprised on the negative side, I would say, compared to Bad Air Day. So we get a 9-segment mission, which starts as usual with a dialogue in the starting station. Then you get a first move to a station, which is, as you can see here, 20 jump from my current location. So we'll take a bit of time to move from one planet to another. Then we get a second dialogue. We need to get to a third planet or station, which is basically 15 jumps away. So we need to see how much jump it takes from the first station to the second. Then we get again a dialogue, and then we go to the first combat encounters, which hopefully will be also close by. Communication, second combat encounter, and then you get the final closeout dialogue, and the chest will be delivered to the nearest ITC, and the rewards will be put on your account. So bit more travel I guess than what you had with Bad Air Day. Might be circumstantial because my base is I think best located for the Caldari mission rather than the Gallente one, but we'll see what it gives. So I'm gonna start the mission, and I'll be back for the debrief after completing it. So quick tour of the ship I will be using for this mission, and basically there is a small adjustment I made to the fitting. So let's move straight to the right menu. No change in the high slot, still using the large strike cannon. Those are the only weapon that I found that would match the range of the drone. So that's why, as you can see here, 48 kilometers optimal and 46 in terms of accuracy fall off. So that is on par with the drone range. So you're looking at 95-100 kilometers, and I'm sure as I still have some skill to train, that I will be able to get to a 50-50 in terms of optimal and accuracy fall off. Only downside is the activation time. 20 seconds is rather slow, but it means the alpha damage from the volley will be quite substantial. In terms of the mid slot, nothing there to add. So I have the regular loadout for the Webifier and the Scrambler. This is basically just to slow down any fast moving target and enable the drones to actually apply the damage as much efficiently as possible if there is a ship that is really in this 10-15 kilometer range, and orbit means that something gone really wrong and I need to dispatch, because this is basically the highest threat that you can have. Your strike cannon will be completely useless in that range. The angular velocity will be much too high on the enemy ship, and so only your drone will be able to dispatch the nasty bugger. That is the change that I applied to the loadout. So I removed the target painter, which was more of an annoyance than anything else. Didn't really had the range, and the drone don't need it. Only the strike cannon do need it, but it's too close to the combined optimal and accuracy fall of the target painters. You are at 90-95 kilometers, where I'm targeting at 95 to 100. So I didn't feel that it was really adding much in terms of the DPS on the large cannon, and because I'm not using standard orbits, it was resetting my orbits was really cumbersome. So I did replace, as I was moving to the tier 10 mission, I did remove it and replaced it with a more defensive large shield booster, so that I could work both on the armor side of things and on the shield side of things, because on some encounters you get just a slight damage on your shield, and the large shield booster will be able to cope it, whereas on others, or if you're fighting a Mars ship, your shield will be drained very rapidly and you will get on armor. And so that's why I do like to have the combination of the shield booster and the armor wrapper. On the drone side, no change in the loadout. 3 Mark 9 infiltrator, EM damage, shield focus, and 2 of the Mark 9 Valkyries, so explosive damage, more armor focus. This is basically because I'm kind of disconnecting the cannons from the drones. You've seen my standard tactics use the strike cannon to anchor my orbit and pound a cruiser plus size ship until the drone basically destroy everything that stands in between my ship and the anchor point, catch up with the anchor point, destroy it, and then rinse repeat with another anchor point, another ship that I would be using the strike cannon in. So that's why I do prefer to maintain a fair distribution in terms of damage type on the drone. Some of my fits I use 2-2, and the middle one either a Vespa or the Gallente one with a thermal damage. But the Gallente one, they are so slow for kiting build. I don't like them. I'm using them for brawling build, because a thermal is really most likely the best all-around damage type that you can have for that. But in there, what I'm really looking to achieve is sort of a sustained damage over time, not a peak in armor or a peak in shield damage and then lowering. I just want to apply a fairly stable DPS over time. Low slot, so of course MWD, just to be able to maintain some damage, help us also collect the loot after the encounter is completed. Complemented by 3 bat drone damage amplifier. You see here that the activation time is at 27 seconds, so I'm moving forward, and once I reach this nice 30 seconds, means that the 3 of them will give me hot damage application on a constant basis, and that will be very, very nice. At the moment I still have like 9-second downtime every 1 minute 30, so still have some lower hand damage in there. This is of course for the strike cannon, a tracking computer that gives me the extra boost I need for the strike cannon to be on par with the drone range, and making sure that I can hit, I would say, more effectively in between 95 and 100 kilometers. This is really the sweet spot I want to be in. Of course, the strike cannon, they can go above and beyond, especially if you push that on the hot side of things. You can hit target at 120, 130 kilometers and still do a significant amount of damage, but that is not the main purpose. Just maybe to anchor at the ship which is a bit further away, and then having a much broader range and number of ship to dispatch with the drone in between. It's kind of reduce the number of cycle anchoring, destroying that I need to do. And last but not least, of course, the C-type large armor wrapper. So this is of course standard loadout for me. I'm more of an armor tank than a shield tank anyway, so my skills are better there. But this is really comfy, having both capabilities in terms of regenerating armor and shield over time, so kind of a comfort zone in there. Low slot, no chain whatsoever, so drone firepower augmenter, flat 15 DPS, 15% DPS, and the drone speed augmenter, minus 10% in the activation time. Best combo when you have only 2 slots available. When you have 3, you go for 2 of the cycle time and then 1 on the DPS. This is complemented by a range augmenter, that's a tier 3. And basically that is what gave me that nice 100 kilometer range landmark. Not there yet, still need to level up expert 4 and 5 in drone, but that can wait. I mean, in between 98 and 100, that doesn't make a huge difference in terms of the overall effectiveness of the ship. When I go for the engineering, our targeting system subcontroller, got 2 of them. This is basically because I want to be able to target as fast as possible, especially when you get fast moving target closing on you. You want to be able to lock on them and send the drones, or use the strike cannon if that's still feasible, to get rid of those before they land into your dead zone, which is kind of 15 kilometer or so. And that is complemented by a memory cell. Just a level 1 because I didn't have the money, but maybe over time I will move to a level 2 or level 3. I'm not sure this is really necessary, because I hardly had any cap issues using that ship. That's why I'm not sure I'm gonna do that. Most likely I'm gonna invest on the drone rigs and push them to level 3, because that will strengthen my DPS on the drone, which is my main source of DPS anyway. So that's it. Let's wait now, do the mission, and come back for the debrief. And back to the hangar for the post-mission debrief. But before, I'm just showcasing here the latest addition to my fleet. It's a very nice Daredevil. Remind me of the Cylon starfighters in the Galactica reboot. Very aggressive and bulky shape, but very nice. I do enjoy actually the look of the ship, and it's also something which is very efficient. It's basically pack a very decent punch. I'm already at over 400 DPS cold with this ship, and I'm not even trained the skill to where they should be. And it's also very efficient if you solo PvPing to just web and disrupt other ship warp capabilities. So I'll do a film guide on this one with maybe a little demo, just to showcase a bit its ability in PvE and PvE settings. Build will be very similar. Just 1 or 2 elements that will be changing. Anyway, back to the mission. So mission went well. Nothing to change with the tactics I'm using since my first tier 6 mission. So you're basically using the strike cannon to anchor your orbit. Set it to I would say over 95 this time, and I'm gonna explain a bit later why. And then you let the strike cannon hit your anchor point, while your drone are basically cleaning up everything in between your ship and the anchor point, targeting as a priority the fastest moving target or the closest to you, because those are the ones that pose the most threat to your ship. Once you reach the anchor point, you just kill it, select another anchor point, and rinse repeat until you reach the last ship. And this is I would say the tricky part, the one that requires a bit more of management in order to avoid a bad spawn. So ships just spawning too close to you and just swarming you. That's what happened in the beta day that I did last time. You just need to set your ship direction to a celestial body, an asteroid field, or whatever, which is opposite to your current target, the last ship of the wave. And once you reach, I would say, armor to half armor, start moving away to that celestial body and hitting that direction. Once you hit half hull, you activate your micro warp drive and gain momentum, so that when the waves spawn, you you are already at speed, and you have all the chance on your side to just recover from ships being too close. You're already at speed, and then you can select your target, and just make sure that you kill the one which would disable your warp drive, or would web you down, so that you would not be able to continue creating distance in between the pack of ships and your own. Other than that, nothing else to say. I didn't sense any adjustment needed because of the balance patch. The only thing that you need to take into account is really the change in the endurance of the enemy ships. So they will take a bit more time to kill, meaning that when you add up all of these, the encounter time is getting slightly longer. So this one, I would say, if you're very efficient, 4 hours and a half. I did it in a bit less than 5 hours in total. That's just because I was a bit cautious. I didn't want to lose another ship, because it has an impact on the profitability of the mission, of course. And so that's why I was a bit slower than what you could achieve with a maybe more active, more attentive gameplay. This added resilience also is due to the fact that they are bringing into the wave the new tier 10 battleships, and those. And I don't know whether that will hold for the other mission, but I found those, especially in that mission, the Hyperion, were more keen to be able to hit you at range, and that's why I changed slightly my standard orbit. I used to have a 95-kilometer orbit range. That was enough, I would say, for most situations, except the elite battleship, which usually can hit you even above 100 kilometers. But with the Hyperions in this particular encounter, they were able to hit me at 95. So I went to 97, and 97 I would say was more safe, and the Hyperion were not necessarily able to hit me again. So that's the small change that I would recommend making. So adjust your orbit closer to the maximum range that you have, just to be on the safe side compared to that. Other change that happened, but you've seen that on the feeding. I don't know whether that's more specific to my Dominix, but the power grid has been slightly reduced, and so I've lost the large shield booster that I had on the mid slot, and that reduced a bit my defensive capabilities. You've seen, or you will see in the battle encounter, that I basically an empty mid slot, because I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. Whether I would train my engineering skill back to a point that I can refit it, or I will try to find some substitute, maybe a medium or maybe an armor one. I still need to explore that, but that's one of the consequences of the I would say of the balance patch, with all the rebalancing of the ships and so on. Correlated to the increased resilience of the rats, of course, the bounty on those has been, I would say, more than slightly increased, and I made slightly over 50 million in total in bounty. So if you push the rewards at 250 plus the bounty at 50, that's 300 million ISKs that you're making in let's say 5 hours. So that's a 60 million ISK per hour, not counting any of the loot. So the officer grade plus the Mark 9 that you can collect after each battle encounters. And basically I had like a very nice catch, and both time my Dominix cargo hold was at, I would say, 90+% full of stuff, mainly the green that you collect from the elite. So I was a bit lucky on that part. And that's about it. So the balance patch didn't increase significantly the difficulty. I would say it's a bit more on the time it takes, because of the increased resilience. It's basically the time to complete the encounters that will be slightly increased, and that is the only point that you need to take into account. That of course will hold until they launch the scanning capabilities, which should be early June. I hope the later the better for me, because it will most likely mean the end of solo storyline mission. I don't think that we will be able to maintain soloing the storyline mission once you can get scanned and jumped in the middle of the fight. So I think I'm gonna accelerate making those just to make sure that I can hoard a maximum of ISK before that dreaded balance patch. But that's maybe me. Maybe it will still be viable. Anyway, there are still too many unknowns, and so we need to see what countermeasure we can have. But I'm fearing that the people multi-boxing will be able to basically put a dedicated frigate for scanning, and then use the rest of the ship in their fleets to jump on unworry mission runners or encounters runners, as I am currently doing most of my game time. Hope you enjoyed the video, find it useful, because on my end I think that's all I wanted to share for that particular mission. So if you did enjoy, like button or subscribe to the channel always help me and encourage me pushing more content on the channel. And if you subscribe, then of course you will be notified of any new content that I will be making and pushing. In the meantime, fly safe, enjoy the game, and see you in another video.